Christian is definitely a go with the flow kind of person, is not too much of a planner, which triggers my anxiety because being an autistic person, the world can seem extremely unpredictable to me sometimes.
Why do we live in a world where a lot of people nowadays seem to not want to understand? What I mean is, why is it nowadays we live in a world where there's a lot of people, or at least it feels like as if there's a lot of people who do not want to understand or research or to do their best to process or whatever it is to be able to connect with their partner even more? Remember, like when there was a time when you met someone, it was all about vibes. It was all about picking up each other's energy, talking, learning about each other, then going away. And then if you remember something that he or she said that was quite crucial, you'd maybe do a little bit of research on it to find out if that's something that you can obviously, accommodate, something that you can help that person with. It's like nowadays that just doesn't seem to exist enough. Because you see, it bothers me that Christian didn't think this whole time he was talking to Cleo do any research on the fact that she is autistic. Just to get a little bit of a background. I'm not asking him to sit there and research hours upon hours of things. No, just get a little bit of a foundation, so at least you know what you're walking into. But instead, he's gone into this relationship expecting to be able to be himself, which is very annoying because he's already said that it's the first time he's with someone that's transgender. Also, at the same time, he's with someone that is autistic. But he hasn't cared to really deep it properly in terms of who he's going in a relationship with or to even educate himself to the slightest. He's like, I'm just going to go to the UK and then if I'm attracted, I'm attracted. If I'm not, I'm not. I mean, I understand that, but I actually feel sorry for Cleo in this situation here because at the end of the day, Cleo is in a situation where, well, she's just trying to go along with the flow to try and please him because she's nervous that if she doesn't please him, then he may not stay. But she's already got the barrier of the fact that she's not biological female that he might want to bounce. So to be fair, right now she's like, okay, I don't know if I need to act even more like a lady. And then she's like, okay, I know I like plans, but now I've got to kind of just bite the bullet and just go along with him and see, and I really hate the fact that Cleo's put herself in this position where she's just trying to please a guy who clearly at this moment in time doesn't give 0 Fs.
It's very colorful.
Yeah. It honestly looks like a physical representation of my mind.
All right.
Well, that's the problem. He's already said that I like this place. Then he's saying it's a physical representation of his own mind.
You know what I'm saying?
This place is like really small and crowded.
You see the way he didn't even process what she's actually trying to say here. When she says this place is actually small and crowded, she's letting you know that, hey man, this place may be a bit too claustrophobic for me. This place may be a bit too sensitive for me. There's a lot of things going on. Lights going on, there's people moving in, everyone's so close together. And in case you didn't know, when it comes to personal space, that is rather a big thing for a lot of autistic people. And being in a place that is quite crowded and small is also something that can be very triggering for an autistic person to just go wild with it. Especially if there's someone who's young, who hasn't obviously had an experience yet, haven't been able to find the mechanism yet. Luckily, Cleo is in a stage where she understands herself. So therefore, she has mechanisms to be able to But at the same time, though, it's annoying that he is not acknowledging this to the slightest. He's too busy worried about his own little mind. It's all about him.
I'm trying to make sure that Christian has a good time here, and I know that he's trying to loosen me up a little.
I mean, listen, at the same time, though, let's flip it. But the fact that you put yourself in this position, Cleo, and you're trying to do what you can to please a man, just to pretty much be with you. I mean, to be honest with you, at the same time, if things go south, your autism starts to it being a busy place, and then you get a couple of drinks, and then if things don't go well, you got to take accountability for the fact that you allowed yourself to be in this situation when in reality you know that you could avoid being in this situation because you just admitted that you're doing all this to please him. Therefore, you have the power to be like, no, we ain't doing this.
But I don't feel like this place is necessarily very, autism friendly.
To be honest with you, I'm actually going to give credit to TLC. They actually done their job in this little scene here, the learning channel. them, you know, obviously spamming around the room itself in particular, that was just a show, of course, how busy it is right now and how it's too busy for someone like Cleo. Do you know what I mean? Even though Cleo's doing a great job of keeping it, just understand, right now, when you're in there, and to be fair, for me, myself in particular, I'm one of those people where I have like a crazy attention to detail, you know? It's kind of annoying sometimes, especially if I'm in the gym and I want to do like a snatch or something like that. I gotta lift up the weight, and then if I see someone walk past, it throws me off. It's crazy. That's why, boy, maybe I'm autistic. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit and self-diagnose myself. That's not appropriate. That's not right. You know what I mean? Disrespectful. But I like the fact that they've done it. They're showing some of the things that could be triggering Cleo right now. I like that. I said before, because it means that TLC is actually teaching something. Well, I mean, for me, I already knew about it, but for people who don't know, that is what they were doing.
There's a lot going on. There's lights everywhere, trinkets. There's a lot of noise, and I'm feeling a little claustrophobic.
There you go, boom, bam. But like I said before, the saddest part about this is that this whole date, this whole relationship, all about one person. And sadly, it's all about one person for the wrong reasons. And that reason is very simple, because Cleo wants to please him, so therefore he doesn't end up being another person that's coming in life and not wanting to be with her. She's trying to adapt to everything, trying to be more womanly, trying to pretty much just suppress her autistic side as much as possible. And don't get me wrong, like, her suppressing that autistic side or trying to really fight for it, to be honest with you, that is impressive. I give credit where credit due, to be honest with you. That means that this woman has a backbone. You know what I mean? She's not trying to use it as an excuse to, or as a reason to not try and, you know, push through. So I feel like this is a learning thing for herself. At least she's able to know that she can go above and beyond other boundaries. But it's not cool in the aspect of that this guy doesn't give a damn. That is where it's upsetting. You know what I'm saying? There is a pros and cons. The pros are there for Cleo. The con is for Cleo is to understand that this guy is all about himself. The question is, do you want to be with someone that's always going to make you feel like it's all about himself? Do you want to be heard? That's the question I have for you there.
Hey, excuse me. Are you guys like celebrating something tonight?
It's my friend's birthday.
Your birthday? Sweet.
Somebody explain to me, why is he now trying to have a conversation with a bunch of other girls that are out celebrating her birthday? And it's crazy because he does this legit seconds after he just told Cleo that he was in a plane talking to some random younger females, which definitely upset Cleo. Cleo was like, oh, so you like to entertain other women when I'm not about? Interesting. Okay, you're saying it's a friendly manner. Okay, I understand, but okay, very interesting. And she's already kind of made it known that it makes her feel a bit uneasy, because it was like, I'm already trying to be as woman as possible for you, but you're entertaining others. And then seconds after, he then goes and introduces himself to some random girls. This man really knows how to make a woman feel special, doesn't he? Really knows how to make her feel special, because I say what Cleo needs to understand here. This has nothing to do with the fact that you're transgender. This is who he is. Okay, so even if he was biologically a female, this is exactly how he would be regardless, which is why clearly he's still single. Which is why clearly I guess he decided to look abroad instead. So understand that this is the man that you are planning to be with. If I was Cleo personally, I'd buck up my ideas real quick and be like, you know what? I need to be with someone that, one, wants to be a bit more educated about who I am as a person in terms of obviously my autism and whatnot. And also at the same time, I want to be with someone that, you know, is going to give me attention. Especially if we're going out for the... Remember, this is their first night out. We're out on a first night. They've had a day out together. Now they're out and eating together. Realistically, this should be all about us moment. Let's get to know each other time. But nah. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He just cares about being himself. And that is being someone that likes to go somewhere to drink and give 0 Fs about anything else. Well, let me know what you're thinking down below and we'll talk about it. Don't forget to like, sub, and of course, peace.